one of the main goals of the online marketing world and industry is trying to figure out how to effectively engage people. I'm going to talk for a moment about gamification. It's kind of a 101 overview of gamification and how using game mechanics and game thinking can engage consumers better than any other techniques pretty much out there today. So stay tuned.
My name is Mike Roberts. I'm a digital marketing strategist. You can check out my video blog at allegoriedesign.com.
So gamification is our topic, and simply put, what gamification is to take the concepts and the kind of the thinking that is put into building games and the engagement that games have in them and applying them to businesses or products or services or ideas. So game designers, they spend all of their time focused on trying to get someone so engaged and involved in the game that they don't want to get up to go to the bathroom, because that's their goal, that's their focus. So we're going to draw a few of the concepts that they use to do that to video games and apply it to some businesses. So I'm going to go into two categories of concepts. One is what customers crave and desire at the root level. So this transcends the industry that you're in and transcends what type of product you have. It's more behavioral psychology. And the second is motivation. So what drives customers to act? What motivates them to buy something or engage with your brand? So first off, what do customers crave? What do they want? What do they desire, really? One, status. So why is it that basically this means in the social hierarchy, in their group of friends, in their group of peers, do they rank, how do they rank in relation to them in terms of status? Like, are they perceived as better in some way than their friends? That's really what they want. So why does someone buy a BMW over a Corolla? It's because it has status, that they're, it has a lot of meaning behind someone who drives, what it tells about the customer and what it tells about the person who drives a BMW versus someone who drives a Corolla. It's a different story. They believe something better about themselves, that they're better than their friends. Another example could be like an airline frequent flyer program or something like that, where they're able to get special things because that show that they're better than the economy person, that they have some sort of worth more than the other people. That's essentially what status is. Access is basically getting special permission to be somewhere at an event or at an advanced screening of something, or having special access to somebody or something like that. So it's giving special special access to someone or something. And an example could be maybe like a front of the line pass. So you're at the Apple store and the VIP line gets to go first rather than having to wait an hour for their iPad or whatever it is. So this is people love getting access to stuff, and that's essentially what that means. Power is interesting because it basically is giving influence over a social group or influence over their peers or over their special interest group. And so if a business has a moderator, like an online forum, they can give kind of like a moderator type role to someone who's a high contributor. And in that way they kind of have some sort of say over what is posted, over what the thing looks like, over what the interactions and the discussions are like. And they're in kind of more of an official position, and they have kind of a special role there. And people love doing that. And what's also cool, kind of the other side of that, is that businesses can get customers that are engaged and high contributors or something to actually do work that they would have had to pay someone else to do. That they can actually give them tasks, and the customers love it. They eat it up because it gives them power, which is what they really want and what they really crave and desire. I'll talk more about that in some other later videos, some examples of how to implement. But and then free stuff, like customers, people really do like free stuff. Give them a free baseball hat or a free shirt with your logo on it, things like that. They eat that stuff up too. And these are all incentives and rewards to give people what they really want, which is. And what's also cool is that if you're in terms of like ranking, like how much someone wants, one thing to the next, it kind of goes from the top down. People love status, and then second is access, third power, free. The free stuff is what they want the least in comparison to these other things, because in reality, the free stuff, they can kind of quantify how much it's worth. So when you give them a free baseball hat, they kind of know that it costs $15 retail, and they could buy that on their own if they wanted to, and so they assign that's worth $15. But it's harder to assign a monetary value to something like access. How do you know how much value a free line pass it really is worth? And people think like, well, my time is valuable, and I get to save my valuable time, and I'm important, and so, it's really valuable. And they tend to overinflate the value of these three things versus the free stuff that you're giving them here. And that's also cool because this is also, from the top down, the cheapest thing to give them is status, and the most expensive is free stuff. And so it kind of works in the advantage of the marketer's perspective that, most expensive is also the least valuable. And the cheapest thing is also the most valuable. So you can really take advantage of some positive ROI when you give people what they really want to cause them to really engage, and it is also a lot cheaper. So for the next section, I'm going to be talking about motivation, and it's what drives consumers to act. What causes them to actually do something? So whether it's buying a product or engage with your brand, this is why. Everyone fits into one of these four categories, and the first is achievers. So these people wake up every morning and they want to win. They just want to win the game, and they want to just get something cool, and it just drives them. There are not a lot of achievers, but they love competitions, they love contests. That's the kind of thing that they engage with. So you see all these like Facebook, brands doing contests and things like that. Achievers love that stuff. They love winning those games and those competitions. Social, think of like a game night where people are getting around and they want to play Monopoly or cards or something like that, and they'll play and they'll keep score and whatnot. But the real motivation, the root why they're playing, is to be social, is to interact with other people, and the game is just the platform. It's just where the social and the conduit where the social interaction takes place. So that's what social people that are motivated through social. That's what they care about. Killers, these people are really interesting because they're just like achievers, but they have the added component that not only do they want to win, but they want you to lose. So they love auctions, and they love being in public places where everybody can see not only that they won, but other people lost. So killers love that stuff. Explorers are looking for a story that they can tell their friends about how they got this product. So you see these people that go on vacation and they get this trinket from the middle of nowhere, and they love telling the story about how they got this thing. And it may be a piece of crap, but they love telling the story about where they got it and how they got it and all that kind of stuff. So that's explorers. So a lot of people have different aspects of all these things in their makeup. So some examples of how these concepts that I just talked about play out. One is in a mall. So think of local mall. They sell jeans, and they want to try to engage people in their company a little bit more, and so they bring in a social aspect. They try to build in a sale that is only available for people that come with 3 or more people in their group. So they have a couple friends with them when they're shopping, and that's what people really want anyway. Like, sure, they want the jeans, but what they really want at the root level is the social experience. And the mall is just the conduit where that happens. It's just the place that the social interaction happens. And it also plays into access a little bit, where they're able to get access to something special, a deal that not everybody is able to get. It's something that is specific to them because they have their friends there. So that's just a fictitious example. An actual example is with Mini Cooper. They had this awesome campaign where they had a competition in Stockholm where they gave away, they were having a prize for a real Mini Cooper. But the way you won the prize was they had a virtual Mini Cooper that was moving around the city, and the only way you could find it is through looking at the iPhone app and you could see like a map of where you were and where the Mini Cooper was, and it was moving around. And if you got within 50 meters of it, you could steal it basically. And if you had it at the end of a week of this competition, then you actually won the real Mini Cooper. And so the catch though is that if someone else got within 50 meters of you, they could steal the car from you. So you had, you know, this 24 hours a day competition where people were running around Stockholm in the middle of the night, and it got a lot of buzz, a lot of PR, and it was a good campaign. The achievers wanted to win. The social people wanted to play against and with their friends. The killers loved being able to see, you know, have everyone very visibly be able to see how many people they beat and also win. And then the explorers had an incredible story that they could tell their friends about. That they were up in the middle of the night, running around Stockholm, trying to chase this virtual car. It kind of played in all of these things. It also hit this area pretty strong too. It had a lot of status for the person who won. It was very visible. You got on, you know, the front cover of a lot of, you know, publications, things like that. Access, people loved being able to, you know, I mean, I guess only the iPhone people could really get into, you know, play. And then the free stuff, you could obviously win a free Mini Cooper, so that was pretty attractive. So it was a quick overview of gamification, some of the concepts, and how to implement a couple of some of these concepts. So stay tuned for some more videos to come that dive into a little bit more detail.